My name is Kenneth Hanks. I'm a retired licensed attorney, and I am now the CEO and President of U.S. Immigration Pathways, LLC. U.S. Immigration Pathways is an Albuquerque, New Mexico limited liability company that concentrates on educating and helping people achieve their immigration goals. In addition to my law degree, I also have an economics degree and was a former member of the Economics Honor Society. I have always been an independent entrepreneur, and I practiced law for over 25 years in the state of Colorado. The United States Citizenship and Immigration Service, also known as the USCIS, is the federal agency governing immigration policy, along with the Department of Labor and the Department of State, which all provide for an annual worldwide limit of admissions to the United States for immigrants and temporary non-immigrants. In this course and other courses, we at U.S. Immigration Pathways, LLC, will help students get familiar with the terms, the forms, and the requirements in regard to the immigration process. Whether or not they want a certain type of visa, a green card, or would like to eventually get U.S. naturalization. In addition, a person will learn the requirements for maintaining their status that they have acquired and how to make sure that they do not become inadmissible to enter the United States. Some people will find that they do not qualify for U.S. immigration at all, or at least not at this time. Nevertheless, huge numbers of people get admitted to the United States every year. Approximately 1 million receive green cards, and another 30 million receive non-immigrant temporary visas, such as work visas, student visas, fiancé visas. Immigration to the United States is based on 4 governing principles. 1, the reunification of families. 2, admitting immigrants with valuable skills that are important to the United States economy. 3, protecting refugees. And 4, promoting diversity. U.S. immigration law is very complex, and there is much confusion as to how the law works. U.S. Immigration Pathways, LLC provides a roadmap to U.S. immigration. Our services and courses cover a lot of territory, and anytime you cover this much ground, it helps to have a roadmap. The first step along the way is the inadmissibility gate. This gate represents problems that can stop a person's path to a visa or green card before they even get started. If, for example, a person has committed certain crimes, been infected with certain contagious diseases, appears likely to need welfare or government assistance, has violated U.S. immigration laws, or matches any other description on the U.S. government's list of concerns, they are considered inadmissible. That means they won't be granted any type of U.S. visa or green card, except under special circumstances or with forgiveness called a waiver. This gate gets closed on a lot of people who have lived in the U.S. illegally for more than six months. This can create either a 3-year or a 10-year bar to immigrating, even if they think they have not done anything wrong. If a person gets past the inadmissibility gate, the next step along this theoretical journey is the eligibility bridge. This is where they must answer the question, what type of visa or green card am I eligible for? Answering this question will require some research on their part. They might already know the answer, as for example, if they just married a U.S. citizen, well, it's pretty obvious that they want to apply for a green card based on this basis. If a person's main goal is to attend college in the U.S., then they probably know they need a student visa. We at U.S. Immigration Pathways, LLC know that people need more than just permanent green cards. We know that not everyone will either want or be eligible to receive the right to live in the United States for their whole life. There are many ways to stay in the U.S. temporarily, such as on a student visa or an employment-based visa. The next step on a person's visa journey is the application process. After a person realizes that they match the eligibility requirements for a U.S. visa or green card, They cannot just march into a U.S. immigration office and claim their rights on the spot. The application process involves intensive document collection, form preparation, and generally molding their life around monitoring the handling of their case until they have gotten what they want. Even if a person does their part correctly, most visas and green cards take a much longer time to obtain than a person would ever imagine, anywhere from a few months to several years. Some people never make it through the process, simply because they fail to adequately prepare their application or to respond to government follow-up requests on time. Others get bogged down through no fault of their own because the government loses track of their application. Dealing with a large bureaucracy such as the United States Citizenship Immigration Services is an intimidating process. For many, it's almost an insurmountable task to keep track of their application in order to make sure that it does not get lost in the system. No matter what type of visa, green card, or other immigration status a person applies for, the application process will involve a lot of paperwork, forms to fill out, birth certificates, and other documents that have to be collected, filing fees that have to be correctly paid, and more. Then a person will have to wait while their carefully prepared applications get shuffled along with hundreds of thousands of others through a maze of government offices. They may also have to meet in person with government officials. In order to prevent any or all the paperwork from getting mishandled, misunderstood, or lost, a person will need to set up a system for organizing the personal paperwork and to make sure that all the forms and documents are of a type that the USCIS and their consultants will accept. A person will need to locate and translate some of the documents that are needed to support their application. They will need to track their application's process, write letters, or perform other follow-up in case of delays. A person will need to prepare to present themselves and their case to a government official. We at U.S. Immigration Pathways, LLC, try to give realistic views for a person's immigration possibilities and how to succeed in reaching their goals. With the right information and preparation, we at U.S. Immigration Pathways feel that anyone subscribing to this course can be one of the people who successfully achieves their immigration goals. Through this course and other additional courses presented by us, people will learn whether they match the criteria to receive either a green card or a temporary non-immigrant visa. People will learn what difficulties they have to overcome. People will learn to strategize the fastest and safest way through the application process, and people will learn to deal with the bureaucrats and delays. In the October 2016 issue of Forbes magazine, which is their annual flagship issue in regard to listing the 400 wealthiest Americans, it is stated that precisely 42 slots on the Forbes 400 belong to naturalized citizens who immigrated to America. That's 10.5% of the list. A huge amount over performance considering that naturalized citizens make up only 6% of the population. The National Foundation for American Policy, a nonpartisan research group, says 44 of the 87 American tech companies valued at $1 billion or more were founded by immigrants. Not only is the American dream thriving, as measured by the yardstick of entrepreneurial success, the Forbes 400, but it also has never been stronger. America has another natural advantage that helps explain why so many immigrants are able to turn themselves into billionaires. The U.S. educational system has traditionally been a beacon, drawing the smartest and most ambitious young self-starters from across the world. The number of college-educated immigrants in the United States grew 78% from the year 2000 to 2014. Almost 30% of immigrants 25 years or older now possess a bachelor's degree or even higher, according to the Migrant Policy Institute. This is a figure that almost exactly mirrors the image for native-born adults. A disproportionate number of these immigrants study science, technology, engineering, and math, also known as the STEM, S-T-E-M disciplines. So in concluding this introduction, let me say that we at U.S. Immigration Pathways are enthusiastic about helping to continue this great immigration tradition that has catapulted this great nation into the world leadership position that it maintains. Through our courses on U.S. immigration, we strive to provide practical and supportive information along the pathway of achieving immigration success for all immigrants, whether their goal is to acquire a green card, a temporary visa, or full United States citizenship. Now, in review, let's look at these summary review questions. 1. What 3 government agencies mainly govern immigration? 2. Immigration to the United States is based on what 4 principles? Review question number 3. How many immigrants are on the October 2016 Forbes magazine list of 400 wealthiest Americans? Number 4. What percentage of the U.S. population is comprised of naturalized citizens? Number 5. What percentage of immigrants 25 years or older now possess a bachelor's degree or higher? Okay, so let's begin now with our course number 1 and see who can get a green card.